Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Alex Camuno, and today I'm gonna show y'all a cheat code that I used to increase my net worth by $43,000 with just one property. And then at the end, I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. No BS. This is the real deal. Tap in.
I guess I got my swagger back.
So last year we were flipping a house, and just one day I was driving around the neighborhood looking for other distressed properties. And this property actually had a for sale by owner sign in the front yard. So the owner was trying to get rid of this property. He was a retiring landlord. And so, called the dude up. He was willing to sell, got a good deal on it, and boom, made it happen. And it actually ended up buying another property from him, a couple weeks later. So, pro tip, always be looking. Always have your real estate eyes on. So I actually bought this one from this dude for about $76,000. So that was the purchase price. So to get this property completely fixed up, it was about $35,000. Now, one thing y'all need to know is that you should only be buying distressed properties. You only should be buying properties that need renovations. That's the only way to get good deals. You cannot make a good deal out of something that's already renovated or something that's move-in ready. It's not possible. You're paying someone else their equity. You have to create the equity yourself. That's your job as the entrepreneur, is to create the equity. An investor is just gonna go and buy a 20% down property just for the cash flow. As an entrepreneur, your job is to make a deal. So entrepreneurs make deals, investors put money down. It's a difference. So to fund this deal, we went to a hard money lender that was lending 85% LTC, right? So what does that actually mean? LTC is loan to cost. So that essentially means that the hard money lender is going to give you 85% of the total cost to get this project completely finished, right? So 76 plus 35,000 is 111,000. The hard money lender lended me 85% of 111,000, which was about $94,000. So the terms with this hard money, it was about, I think if I remember, it was 6 months, 16% interest. So it was about $1,100 a month to pay the interest on this loan. So that was really expensive hard money, but it's because, they didn't charge as many points and other things on the back end. So it worked out being cheaper than going, with a, 12% hard money lender that would have charged points and other things. So as y'all see, the hard money lender only lent 85% of the value of this project, right? So that means we're short 15%. The hard money lender wants you to come with the other 15%, right? They're gonna put 85% up, you come with the other 15. So I say, all right, cool, bet. But I don't want to put my own money up. I don't like using my own money. I like leveraging other people's money, right? Because that's how you scale. I know that in order to scale, in order to build a portfolio, in order to increase your net worth, in order to become wealthy, you gotta leverage OPM. So that's what I did. I went to a private money lender that was in my personal network. So I asked them, would you be willing to put 35,000 up if I pay you 10% interest? They happily agreed. Why? Because that's a good deal for them, right? If that 35,000 is just sitting in their bank account, what are they going to do with it? It's collecting what, 0.01% interest at Chase Bank or Wells Fargo or Bank of America? You might as well give it to me and let me get you 10%, right? Of course, it's a no-brainer. So the private money lender lent me $35,000 and I paid him 10% interest, which was about $292 every single month. Now I know what you might be thinking. Wait, the project cost was $111,000. If the hard money lender gives you 94 and the private money lender gives you a 35, now you have 129, but you only need a 111. Why did you ask for more? The reason you got to ask for more is because typically the hard money lender might want you to start the rehab, right? They want you to use your own money to start the rehab, then they'll reimburse you in draws. And also it's always good to have a little bit extra just in case the rehab goes over budget. And you won't have to dig into your own pockets. You have already built that into the projections and into your modeling. So now there's a couple things we could do here, right? We could either burr this property or we can flip this property. Now, what is a burr? A burr is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, right? It's essentially when you buy a discounted property, you get it fixed up, rent it out, refinance it, pay back your lenders, and you keep the property, right? Ideally, you leave none of your own money invested into the property, right? Or you could flip it, which is obviously when we just fix it up and then resell it to an end buyer or a retail buyer. But this is why we buy distressed. Again, I cannot stress this or emphasize this enough. You have to buy distressed because now you can burr it or you can flip it. But if you bought it move-in ready, you would just have to put 20% down, put a tenant in there, and that's it, right? You can't do anything else. You're really trapped. You want to always have multiple exit strategies. I could either sell this property or I could keep this property depending on what happens in the market, right? If I'm in the middle of a rehab and the market tanks or there's less demand, I still want this deal. I don't want to have to take a L on this deal. I still want to be profitable. I still want to come out on top. So you got to make sure that you're accounting for that beforehand, and you do that by buying discounted, distressed properties. So what happens if we burn this property? We buy it for $76,000, rehab it for $35,000, rent it out for about $1,600. That's what the market rent was for this property. And then we're going to refinance it, right? So what does it actually mean to refinance a property, right? Well, a refinance is essentially when you pay off an existing lender and you put a new mortgage on a property, right? So in this case, our existing lender was our hard money lender and our private money lender. We need to pay them off, and then we can get a new mortgage on here. Why do we want to do that? It's so that we can keep this property. If you want to keep this as a rental, you got to refinance it, because this was only short-term money. That was only, 6-month money. We need a 30-year mortgage, not a 6-month mortgage. So the key with the BRRRR is to make sure that you got the right ARV, right? So in this case, our ARV was about $173,000. And that's essentially what the property is going to be worth once it's fixed up. So now what we're gonna do, once this project is completely renovated, the house is completely renovated, what we're gonna do is go to the bank and we're gonna ask for a mortgage on this property. That's what the refinance is. We'll say, yo, Mr. Bank, I got this property over here, I wanna put a mortgage on it. So the bank is gonna run their analysis. They're gonna say, okay, cool, this property is actually worth $173,000. We'll give you 75% LTV. What does that mean? That's essentially loan to value, right? So they're gonna give you 75% of the value of this house. They're not gonna give you 100%, right? Because they want you to have some skin in the game. They know this is gonna be an investment property, and so you need to have skin in the game. So they're gonna give you 25%, they're gonna give you 75% of the value. So that means they're gonna loan you $130,000. And so now the refi is where the sauce is, right? Because now what happens is you take that $130,000, you pay off your hard money lender for $94,000, and then you pay off your private money lender for their $35,000. So what does that actually mean? You just got paid $1,000, right? Because after you pay them off, you left with $1,000. You got paid $1,000 to keep this property. And so now you own an asset worth $173,000 and just put $1,000 cash in your pocket. Bruh, come on. And so now we can see what our real equity or what our net worth gain from this property actually was, right? So we know that net worth and real estate equity is a function of the value of the property minus what you owe on it. So in this case, we know the property is worth $173,000, right? Because that was what they lent on. And then they gave us a $130,000 mortgage. So now we know that our net worth is going to be equal to $43,000. Really, it's $44,000 because we actually made $1,000, right? But look at what we essentially just did, right? We acquired a property with none of our own money and increased our net worth by over $40,000. And on top of that, the tenant that lives in that property that's paying, $1,600 a month is going to be increasing my net worth every single month, right? And the property is going to be increasing in value every single year. So that's increasing my net worth. And then you can't even forget, we're getting depreciation tax write-offs on this property. So we're not even paying anything in taxes. So that's one play, right? But remember, we said we could flip it. And I actually flipped this property instead of actually keeping it as a rental, because in this particular case, that $1,600 a month rent wasn't enough to cash flow on this property, right? So the mortgage on this property will be about $1,400 a month. You get $1,600 a month in rent, your mortgage is $1,400, and you put aside about another 20% of the income for, the repairs, the maintenance, capital expenditures, and property management. You're gonna be cash flowing about negative $120 a month, meaning I'm paying every single month to keep this property, which for me, I only buy things that cash flow. That's part of my personal investment philosophy. Some people are okay with breaking even and losing a little bit every month because they know that their net worth is increasing and they know that the property value is going up every single year. Personally, I'm all about financial freedom, and I know buying something that's not cash flowing is not moving me closer to financial freedom. I'm getting further away from it because now that's another added expense. And so in this case, we actually flipped this property, right? And so sold for $173, pay back your hard money lender for $94, and then pay back your private money lender for another $35, and we left with about $44,000. So that's, again, you've increased your net worth by $40,000+. But look what's happening here. In either case, no matter what, if I decide to burn this property or if I decide to flip this property, I don't lose. No matter what, I win. But the key here that makes this so dope is that I'm doing this deal with none of my own money invested. Nothing out of my own pockets to increase my net worth by $43,000. Think about that. The private money lender lent me that $35,000. I pay them 10%. They're getting the easiest $300 of their life, right? So they're happy. Then I take that $35,000, increase my net worth by $43,000, right? Pay them back. And what's gonna happen? They're gonna wanna do it again. Why wouldn't they? They're literally doing nothing to receive 10%. What bank account is giving them that? There's nothing giving them that. So I increase my net worth again, another $43,000, right? But check this, they're lending the same money over and over and over and over again. That $35,000, they're not going to get a new $35,000, right? I'm paying them back and they're just giving it back to me. And I'm buying another property and I'm increasing my net worth again. That's the cheat code here. It's that you're using the same money over and over to increase your net worth. Bro, where did they do that at? So it essentially becomes an infinite net worth return on investment, right? Increasing my net worth by infinite folds because I didn't invest my own cash. And it's a win-win situation for all. The private money lender is happy because they're making money in their sleep. I'm happy because I'm increasing my net worth and building my real estate portfolio. So it's a win-win. And look, man, this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life moving forward, right? So if you're interested in investing with me, just hit me up, hit me in the DMs and we could talk more about it. Or if you're interested in, learning how I do this, then you could check out my course, How to Acquire Your First Flip or Rental Property. And I talk about all this in the course. I show you, how I find these lenders and how I'm leveraging these and how to analyze deals, how to find these deals, right? So it's all knowledge that you need to have especially before you go try to ask anybody for money. Don't you dare go try to ask anybody for money before you did any research on your own. Go lose your own money. Go trick off your own money. Don't go trick off granny's money. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope y'all gained something of value. If you did, I'd appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm so that they know there's a good content that needs to get pushed out there some more. Other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one.